Hey, Instagram. So it took me a little bit to figure out how to go live again. I'm still learning this whole social media, all of this. So I'm getting it though. But I wanted to come back. Last week, I said I was stepping out. I'm going to go live more. So this is not scripted. This is just some things that have been on my mind. I have really been thinking about. Maybe I should wait a little bit just to see if anybody's going to come in here. Even if nobody doesn't come in, I'm still going to say what I got to say. Hey, there's my girl. I said I was going to wait a little bit to see if anybody popped in here, but I'm still going to say what I got to say. Hey, Chance. So I came back from last week. This week I wanted to say, really it's not even something that I want to say because I feel like I'm so led to do this. This is really a push for me, but I believe that somebody needs to hear this. And all it is that you are enough. That I think that in our society, especially with the social media craze, like we're always trying to become better, and there's nothing wrong with that. I know I'm all about becoming better. I mean, my catchphrase is there is more in you. So I believe that we all got to become better and be better because, that's the purpose of life. But at the end of the day, you can't let just trying to become better break you down at the same time. You have to know that even if you don't do things right, even if you mess up a zillion times, you are still enough. You are still good enough. You are still enough. I cannot emphasize that enough because I think that we're all going for likes a lot of times. We're trying to see if somebody approves of us. Are we good enough? What does this person think? What does that person think? But at the end of the day, it's really about what you think. And what you need to think about yourself is that you are doing the absolute best that you can and you are enough. You are good enough. So if you're anything like me, stop beating yourself up about things that you can't do anything about. The past is gone. And I mean, even if it was a second ago, if it was a minute ago, it's over. All you can do is start from where you are and validate yourself. For me, for so long, it was because of my dad not really being there and not really showing that effort and basically saying because of my mother and the situation with them two that he couldn't connect with me. So I thought to myself, like, am I just not good enough? Like, why didn't he fight for me? And sometimes we think about that in relationships. There's just so many different things, or we're not picked for a job or whatever that make us think that we're not good enough. Or if it's a business deal or whatever it is, like, well, why didn't they choose me? I really wanted that. I really wanted this to go this way. I really wanted that to go that way. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because you're still here. I posted that earlier today. And I meant it with all of my heart that you are still here. So that means something. That means that you still have some things to do. That means that you are enough because you're still here. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I wanted to share that you are enough. Now that I've learned that for myself, I'm so excited and I feel so free that I don't have to work so hard to be better than what I am. And if I mess up, then it's still okay. And I can be more confident in who I am. And I want you guys to be confident in who you are because you have something to say too. You have something to do too. And nobody can do it like you. I don't care how hard they try. You may think maybe their way, they're doing it big. That's why I always celebrate people. I always celebrate people because we need that, because there's that small voice on the inside of us sometimes that says you can't do that. You ain't good enough for this. You ain't good enough for that. And we've got to learn to silence that voice because that voice is what's going to hold us back. So I'm encouraging everybody today to say to yourself, there's more in me. I'm enough. I got this. And to say this Not because you think you're all that, and not because you're not humble. Because I know in a church, that's right, nobody can do it like you. That's right, Joy. But I know in the church they teach us to be humble, and there's nothing wrong with being humble. You got to be humble. You don't want to think higher of yourself than you should. But at the end of the day, you have to think something of yourself. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because God thought something of you. God thought that you were great. God thought that you were good enough to be here. God thought that you were good enough to be loved. So I'm encouraging you to love yourself, because God rests on the inside of you. So if you don't love yourself, it's essentially, do you love God? If you're saying that you love God, God wouldn't beat you up like that and tell you, oh, why'd you do that? That was so stupid. He doesn't talk to us like that. So I'm encouraging you to stop talking down to yourself. Build yourself up. Be kind to yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself, because God loves you. And if you're worth loving, for God, who created the entire universe, including you, if he loves you, then you definitely should love yourself. But I'm off my soapbox. I'll be back again. Because again, I'm pushing myself as I encourage you. I believe that this is my purpose and I'm passionate about it. So I'm pushing myself to put myself out here to go ahead and just share with you that you are enough. And there's so many other things that I want to share with you. I love you guys all. That's why I call you my loves. So until next time, goodbye, loves.